Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I don't know about you, but I've been loving K-dramas lately, and I've been watching the It's Okay Not to Be Okay on Netflix, and I want to recreate the female actress makeup today, Seo Ye Ji's makeup. I was really inspired by her because she had such a beautiful look and it was so pretty, so I want to recreate it today. First up, I'm going to use the Glow Recipe Watermelon Mist to mist this all over my face. This will give me the glow and hydration for the base that I want. Next up, I'm going to be using the INNISFREE Moisture Fitting Base to create a moisturizing base for the foundation. And I'll be spreading this product out all over the face. I'll also be using a SMASHBOX Photo Finish Pore Primer. And I'll only be using a tiny bit over my T-zone to get rid of extra oil and to smooth out the skin. In terms of the base makeup, I'll be using the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation because it has a dewy base, just like Seo Ye Ji's makeup. I'll be spreading this out all over the face with a foundation brush and then going in with a sponge to blend it all out. Here I'll be using the classic Real Techniques sponge. This will help me smooth everything out and blend everything out really nicely. Surprisingly, I actually prefer the Real Techniques sponge over the Beauty Blender because I feel like the Real Techniques one gives me a smoother finish. But the only downside is I feel like the Real Techniques one breaks really easily. Now that the base is done, I'll be moving on to brows. I'm going to be using my Holy Grail brow pencil from Benefit. It is the Precisely My Brow Pencil, and I just love how thin the tip is, so it can give me really nice clear strokes. I'll be starting from the base, and I'll draw out a really clean line to create that really straight brow effect. Then I'll fill in the rest of the brow accordingly. If you mess anything up, don't worry, just use a sharp Q-tip and get rid of any mistakes. Instead of using a brow gel this time, I'm going to be using a clear soap. Here I'm using the one from PEARS. I'll be dipping a tiny eyebrow brush in water and then trying to get some of the soap onto the brush in order to brush it onto the brows. I'll work it in focusing on the front to make the hairs more upwards and then using the remaining products for the rest of the brow. Make sure you only brush it lightly because you don't want to remove any of the products underneath. If you find out your eyebrow hairs are too long, you can trim it beforehand. After the brows, I'm going to be moving on to my eyes. First up, I'm going to prime my eyes with the MAC & Prime eye base. This base will help smooth out the texture as well as making the eyeshadows even more vibrant. I'll try to use my pinky or my ring finger to apply the base onto my eyes, just so that it's more gentle. With eyeshadow, I'll be using the MORPHE 35O Nature Glow Matte Palette. I'll be picking up the shade Maybe and applying that all over my lids as a transition shade. It doesn't need to be too precise, so I'm just using a fluffy eyeshadow brush here. I'm just brushing that all over the lids. You can't really see it, but it will definitely help the colours blend in later on. Then I'll move along to the shade Wild and putting that on the inner corners of the lids. Again, don't worry about being too precise with this because this is just a base shade for glitters later on. You'll want this shade to be applied a bit higher than your natural lids, just so you can see it when your eyes are open. Here's the first glitter I'm going to put on my lids. I'll be using the NARSISST Loaded palette for that really nice gold shimmer. The shade that I'm picking up here is called Privileged. And I'll be using my fingers to apply this because it will help the shimmer stay on the lids. I just love how pretty it looks already. I absolutely love this palette from NARS because all the matte shade goes on really well and it's not patchy, and the shimmers are really fine too. If you're looking for a palette to invest in, I'll definitely suggest this. Next up, I'll be picking the Morphe palette again and using the shade Casual. I'll be focusing this shade on the outer corners and on the lash line, just to darken the eyes a little. Then using the shade Timber, I'll be creating a very light eyeliner just to define the eyes a little bit more. It is quite important to keep this look clean, so I'll be using a Q-tip to clean up the edges. To clean up the fallouts, I'll be using the same concealer underneath the eyes, and I'm using a shade 1.25 here, so it's a lighter shade than my normal skin tone, just so it can bring out more definition. In the drama, she has quite a small undefined face, so I'm using a lighter concealer here in the hopes that it can highlight the middle of my face and make my face smaller as I add on the contour later on. You don't need a lot of product, you just need a tiny bit to cover up the fallouts. If you use too much, it might make the whole look too cakey. To set the concealer, I'll be using a Japanese powder. This is the Sana Pore Putty powder. This powder actually helps to give you a very smooth, poreless finish. I'm just brushing this on very lightly with a small blusher brush. Then I'm actually going to pick up the eyeliner brush that I used earlier, which has some leftover product, to create the Egyosa, which is the fat underneath the eyes to make you look more youthful and more baby-like. When that's done, it's time for more shine. Here I'm using the Aritam Shine Fix Eyes in the shade 16, which is called Moonlight Gold. This is one of the best shimmers I've used because it gives you that bling, but it's not over the top. I'm putting the shimmer in the inner corners of the lids, as well as the middle part of my lower lash line to create that highlight for the Egyosa. And then I'm picking up the shade Casual again to give the outer corners of my lower lash line a bit more dimension. Now that the eyeshadows are done, it's time for eyelashes. I like to curl my eyelashes before applying falsies because it helps it blend together. And I'll be using these falsies today that I got from Taobao. I actually love getting eyelashes from them because they are always so natural looking and they're really comfortable to wear too, and super cheap. If you don't know what Taobao is, it is basically like an eBay, but it's mainly used in China or Asia. And I'll be applying these eyelashes with some glue. Make sure the glue is slightly tacky and half dried before applying it into your eyes, otherwise it will ruin your eyeshadows. Just look at how natural they look. I love these and they are super lightweight and comfortable to wear too. I then go in to curl my eyelashes again just to blend the real lashes and the fake lashes together. The mascara that I'm using here is the Heroine Make Long and Curl Mascara. I actually swear by this mascara because I've used it for many years and it just gave me really nice results. It definitely keeps the curl all day long, even for those really stubborn Asian lashes. Focus the mascara on the base just to combine the real lashes and the fake lashes, and apply some to the lower lashes too. Then I'm moving on to an eyeliner for the waterline. Here I'm using the Sephora one. I actually really love this eyeliner as well because it's so pigmented and it doesn't really smudge once it's dried. The formula is super soft as well, so it doesn't hurt your eyes when you apply it. I'll then use a liquid eyeliner to create a small wing eyeliner. Here I'm using the Deja Vu one in black. I find that this eyeliner is decent, but I still like my Flow Fushi more. Again, pick up the Q-tip to create a very sharp defined line. Now it's time for contour. I'm using the PORE 3D contour kit. This is one of my favorite contour kit because it's so natural and the shades looks amazing on Asian skin tone. Make sure you focus the contour lower down and on your jawline to create that very angular shape. Don't forget to apply some on your forehead too. My face is naturally uneven, so I'll be applying a bit more on one side. And I also have a pretty big forehead, so I'll be applying a bit more on the foreheads too. For my nose contour, instead of using the same PORE one, I'll be using this heavy rotation eyebrow and nose contour powder. This is the best nose powder for me because it is not that brown or not that red either. Next up is blush, and it seems like she likes the orange kind of shades more, so I'll be using this Toly Moly cheek tone in Marmalade. My cheeks is quite small, so I'll be using a smaller blusher brush and focusing it more on the outer cheeks and the cheekbones. Then of course I'm going to go in with a highlight. Here I'm using the MAC Double Gleam with a fan brush. Just gonna apply some on the cheekbones, on my nose and underneath the brows. If you want more intensity, apply it with your fingers. Last but not least, lips. I'm using the 3CE Velvet Lip Tint. I'll be using this product instead because it gives out a very nice powdery matte finish, but it's not too drying on the lips. A matte finish lipstick or lip tint is definitely a must here because her whole look is about that matte lip. If you don't have a matte lipstick just like it, then you can use a normal lipstick and apply some translucent powder on top to create that very mattified look. I've also used another lipstick from a Thai brand called Buy For You Too. I'll be using this lipsticks on the inner parts of the lips to create more dimension. And we're finally done. Here's the final look. I hope you like it. Do comment down below and let me know how you find the drama. And like this video, please subscribe, and please do follow my Instagram too. Thank you. Bye.